Hi Flosstube, welcome to Ducks and Crosses. I'm Bethany and this is my first ever Flosstube. I thought I would join the bandwagon, film a Flosstube after joining Sarah with Cross Stitch Sarah on her Flosstube the other week. I really enjoyed it, and with lots of encouragement from all the stitchy friends, I thought I would do it. So I thought, what better way to start than doing a whip parade? So I'm going to do a little introduction about myself, how I got into stitching, who am I, and then I will show you my whips in chronological order from their start date. So let's just get straight into it. So I'm Bethany, I am 27, I live in Leighton Buzzard in Bedfordshire with my husband and our two cats. They are Luke and Leia, they are 2 years old. So if you hear any scratching at the door, I do apologise, that's them wanting to come and join me. But they will just sit on my whips and they like to try and help. They don't help, but they like to try, which means my projects are full of cat hair. Like every person that has a cat, it gets everywhere. Anyway, so yeah, I live in Bedfordshire with my husband. I've been stitching since 2022. So my mother-in-law is Sarah, Cross Stitch Sarah. And she didn't encourage me to get into cross stitching, but she helped me get into cross stitching. She's obviously been cross stitching for ages. And my sister announced that she was expecting her first baby in 2022. And I asked Sarah to do a birth sampler for her. And she bought this little Winnie the Pooh kit from the Works, I think it was. And it was a learn to cross stitch kit. It came with 10 different patterns and a Winnie the Pooh one. Sarah was going to do one of the 10 patterns it came with that was Winnie the Pooh with a honey pot, and she was going to add my niece's name and everything. And I just thought, oh, I'll give it a go. I'll have a go at doing this, the kit that was the Learn to Cross Stitch kit of Winnie the Pooh. Did that, and yeah, the rest is history. I'm now addicted, like everybody. Spend far too much money on cross stitch, but that's the fun of it, right? So yeah, I stitched the Winnie the Pooh, then stitched Eeyore, Piglet, Tigger, finished them all in a hoop, and I gave them to Freya, my niece, that sit on her nursery wall, because her nursery wall was Winnie the Pooh themed. So yeah, I've completed a couple of other projects since. The project I'm most proud of, which I will put a picture up, is of The Stair by Artisy. It's a white tiger. I stitched this for my mum for her 60th birthday and got it framed by Lisa at Atelier Frames. It took me about 10 months, I think, to stitch that. Loved every stitch of it. First time working on black. And yeah, I just loved the effect of it. It's such a realistic picture in the end of it, and looks great framed. So yeah, for anybody that does watch Cross Stitch Sarah, don't worry, I don't have as many whips as her. I've only got 17. And one of them I can't show because it's a secret stitch for my sister, just in case she watches my Flosstube videos. I don't think she will, but I thought I better not show it just in case, because that is a surprise for her. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. So, my first whip is my oldest whip. It is Bear Hugs by Rendale Designs, kitted by Bothy Thread. I am stitching this using all the kit fabric and threads. It's a 14 count Ada. I started this on the 31st of July in 2022. So it's getting on a bit now. It really should be finished, but it's just so much brown. Anyway, I do love it. I started this because my in-laws of Sarah and Aaron and Morgan, my husband, are known as the Bears. So the three of them, I saw this project and I just had to stitch it. It will be finished. How I will FFO it eventually, I do not know, but I just loved that when I saw that. So I really need to get a move on with it, but it's very pretty. The effect of it is lovely. And my needle minder's there, the koala is upside down. Let's turn that round. Are both from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. My second WIP was a start for Sarah's 50th birthday. I think it was her birthday start we did them for. And I started my first ever full coverage, and I've chosen to do Mini Welcome Home by Haid. I'm a massive Harry Potter fan. We had a Harry Potter wedding. It was amazing. So I do love to do any Harry Potter stitching, especially when you put Harry Potter film on. What better thing to do? I am stitching this on 28 count Zweigart easy count, 2/1/10 stitch, using all the called for DMC. This is currently at just under 20% complete. It's at 19.26%. I've done 16,022 stitches. Apologies for all the parked threads, but if you do full coverages, you know, it's the way most people end up doing it, because you just end up parking it where you need to do it. So I've finished page 1. I think I'm nearly finished page 2. I think I've not stitched on this for quite a while. I really need to pull it out. This was called for my WIP Go, because I am doing WIP Go this year, but WIP Go is on a bit of a pause to try and get my secret stitch finished a bit quicker. So I will catch up with WIP Go once that is done. So I will be stitching on this soon. I do love it. So far, I can't really see much, but this will be the line. Might be the snake. And then, yeah, we've got the other 2 houses that will be down here eventually. My third WIP is a project I got in a Magic School stitching box that was done by Little Loop Stitching by Sammy. And it's Magic Mandala. I'm stitching this on the fabric that was provided for in the kit that came with the box. It is a hand-dyed 28 count even weave that Sammy dyed herself, I believe. And I started this on the 22nd of April in 2023. I think I forgot to say when I started my Haid. That was the 24th of January 2023. So, again, old WIPs now that need to have more done. This really should be finished by now. This stitches up really quickly. It's mainly like back stitches with some cross stitches in, but I love the effect of it, so it will obviously be symmetrical. Symmetrical? Yeah, let's go with that. Like, no matter which way you'll put it. But yeah, I do love the effect of this. Again, I really should have had this finished by now. Great. So my fourth WIP is a project that I started with Sarah at a Floss Friends retreat we went to in, when was it? May 2023. And we both started a long dog peccadillo. We both started flirtation. Sorry, I've got one part thread. I might use my board for this. So we both started it at the retreat. Again, I really should have stitched more on this than I have done. So, I can't see what I'm doing now. This is flirtation, or where I'm up to for flirtation. It is stitched on 32 count Zweigart Stone Grey linen, and I'm using Oliver Twist threads, number 35, which were new. I got them from Fobbles. I'll zoom in a bit. You can see the variegation in the threads over there. It's so pretty. I love it. So yeah, me and Sarah was in the Lake District. We had a little trip to Fobbles. I saw them in there, loved the colour, so picked that up. And yeah, I need to do some more on that. That is at 23% complete of 1,820 stitches. Again, I'm great at starting things. I need to get more things finished. Hopefully, having my Flosstube will make me finish some things. Hopefully. Or it will make me start everything. I have a feeling my WIP count will increase. So my fifth WIP is, again, it was a pattern that was in the Magic School box that was from Sammy. Like little loops. And it is a full coverage. I will put up the picture of what it will look like at the end. This is Hogwarts Illuminated. Again, it is stitched on a 28 count easy count by Zweigart. Stitched on 2/1/10 stitch using the called for DMC. And it is 6.85% complete. I started this on the 16th of July in 2023. So this was a kind of a birthday start for me in 2023. 2 years old, and again, not much progress. All right, WIP number 6 is the Imagine Turtle. This is what it will look like when it's finished, because I've got the matching needle minder. By Bothy Threads. It is stitched using their kit threads and Ada, because it's a printed fabric. I started this on the 25th of December 2023, so this was a Christmas start. This was a Christmas gift from Sarah and Aaron, my mother and father-in-law. I love turtles, and I love the colours of this. I'm using the Pip and Chip floss drops to store my threads on for this project, because the colours are so pretty, and the Pip and Chip floss drops are so good, and they've got the symbols for all the Bothy Threads kits that Bothy Threads use, so really good and really easy to reuse for different Bothy Threads projects. So my 7th WIP is one that I started as a travel piece for me to take on my honeymoon. It is a pattern from the Disney Cross Stitch magazine. I think it's from the very first one. I will check, and if I can figure out how, I'll pop it on the bottom of the screen if I remember. But it is Mickey Mouse silhouettes, and I started this on the 2nd of May 2024. So I started it the day before the wedding. So yeah, I took this, we went on our honeymoon to America, went to Florida, did Disney, Universal. So I thought I needed a Disney stitch, and it's so easy. It's got 4 colours, because it will have a yellow heart, a green heart and a blue heart with a different silhouette of Mickey Mouse within each heart. Plan on doing it all and then finishing it as a pillowcase type thing, hopefully. This is kind of my little travel projects when we go on any Disney holiday. So it went to Disneyland Paris with me. It will come with me on a Disney cruise I'm going on in September. And yeah, it's such an easy little fun stitch to do. This needle minder is from Cross and Crafts, I think, on Etsy. And then this was a Disney pin that I got in America that I've changed into a needle minder. This is stitched on a 28 count white even weave. I think it says why I got one, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. Yeah, just a cute little stitch. My 8th project is Welcome to Diagon Alley. I think it's from Country Magic Stitch. It is stitched on a 25 count easy count Zweigart even weave. It's an even weave. And I'm stitching it 1/1 full cross using the called for DMC. And I started this on the 7th of June 2024. It is at 17.19, so 19%. And it's 3,877 stitches. This is also on my WIP Go board. It's quite easy. It stitches up quite quickly actually, because it's quite blocky. So yeah, it's quite an easy stitch. So it'll be Diagon Alley. This will be the dragon. Yeah, another Harry Potter stitch. My 9th WIP was a birthday start in 2024. I'm also an Arsenal fan. I'm a big Arsenal ladies fan especially. Me and my mum are season ticket holders and we go to all the Arsenal ladies games. So I got this as a birthday present last year. It's just a fun little stitch to do. The needle minder was a pin that I got from buying one of the programs. Changed it into a needle minder. So this is stitched on a 28 count white even weave using the called for DMC. It is at roughly 20, it's a bit over now because I've stitched on it during some of the Euros games because it's easy and blocky to stitch on. So it's just over 25% complete, and it will be the Arsenal badge. My 10th WIP I originally said I wasn't going to go above 10 WIPs. I'm quickly approaching 20 WIPs, aren't I? So this is Sampler Harry Potter by Lena over on Etsy. She's got some beautiful designs of different like fandoms. There's a lot of Disney ones. And they've all got this beautiful border, and then they have little images cross-stitched inside. So this is going to be a phoenix, and then I've got 4 other like squares to do, and there's the castle, there's Hagrid's hut, and I think there's a stag for a Patronus. Off the top of my head, I think that's correct. So I'm stitching this on a 27 count light taupe Linda even weave by Zweigart. I'm using CXC 500 and I'm stitching it 2/1 full cross. So it is tiny, tiny, tiny stitches, but it's quite good. It's not actually bulky like I thought it was going to be. I've loved stitching on this when I pull it out. I started this on the 23rd of September 2024 and it is at 23.96% complete of 8,102 stitches out of 33,817. So I've got a long way to go, but this bit is nearly done. Oh yeah, it's such a fun little stitch. So yeah, definitely go and check out her Etsy if you're any type of like Disney fan, film fan. She's got some locations as well. I know she's got a Italy one with the Colosseum in, and I've been to Italy and seen the Colosseum, so I'm quite tempted to get that and do that at some point. Yeah. Right, WIP number 11 was a start I did with Sarah. Christmas. It was a Christmas start. It is Cat Lovers. Oh, let me get rid of that thread. I haven't serged my fabric. So this is Cat Lovers. The needle minders are by Charlie Feathers. It is by Diagon Alley. I hope I haven't just butchered that. I am stitching it on a 28 count cashel linen in flax. I am using CXC threads. This is kind of the first time I was properly using them for a whole project apart from the Sampler Harry Potter, I think. And we started it on the 28th of December 2024. This is also on my WIP Go this year, so it gets a bit of progress. As I've got my 2 cats, I saw it, loved it. I think I saw Just So Sherry stitch it first, and I was like, I need that. Right, oh, my needle minders have got stuck together. Okay, WIP number 12. Is the Historical Sampler Our Year. This is by Historical Sampler Company. This was a Christmas present from Sarah. I started it as my New Year start, so I started it on the 1st of January this year, 2025. I'm using the kit threads and the kit fabric. It's a 16 count Ada. My goal was and is, in a way, is to do each month within the month. I haven't even started July. That's because I've been pretty much monogamously stitching on my secret project for my sister. So I will have to play catch up, but I will hopefully play catch up quite soon. But if you want to see this, it might even be done now. Julie at Cross Stitch Jules 75 on Instagram has maybe finished it. She was very close the last time I saw her and spoke to her because she's local to me and is a friend of Sarah's, and now me. So it's such a cute little one to do throughout the year. My WIP number 13 is a project that I'm sure lots of people have seen. It is Stitching Rules by Primrose Cottage. I'm stitching this on 32 count Belfast linen in light ash grey. I'm using the CXC equivalent threads for the DMC equivalents that Primrose Cottage have given. But I have changed the yellow to a bit of a brighter yellow because I like a nice bright yellow. I started this at the Floss Friends retreat on the 16th of May 2025 with Sarah. And while we were there, lots of people were like, oh, I really like that design. So we decided that we should do it as a bit of a sal. and we aim to have them finished by the October 2026 retreat, so that we can have a big group photo of everybody's finishes, see what people's personalizations are. I've done the spools in, like them white spools and the green spool here, in satin stitch instead of just crosses. I know some people were tempted to put like little heart buttons at the top instead, so it'll be really cool to see people's personalizations. Some people might even just completely change colours and everything, so that'll be really good to see. So I generally stitch this on our online stitching chats that Sammy runs on the Floss Friends page. They're once a month, and I've been stitching on that. But I need to do a little bit more on that. So WIP number 14 is the Deadly Aquarium by Lola Crow. This was a stitch along a few years ago, I believe. I like sea animals and things, and so does my husband, so I was tempted to start this. I am stitching it on a 28 count hand dyed Balana even weave, but I'm stitching it 2 strands over 1 full cross, and it's fabric that I've dyed myself, so that's quite accurate actually. Kind of like a bluey, greeny, grey, deep sea kind of colour. I'm using a mix of DMC and CXC threads for this. I started on the 31st of May. I've only stitched on it about twice, I think, doing the frame. The goal was to have the frame done by July. Nowhere near done. This is at 5.13% and is 956 stitches. So I was starting this one, and Sarah was going to start the Greenhouse of Oddities one. But she's changed her mind and she wants to do the Extraordinary Bird sale that is on at the moment. So I don't think she's started either yet, but she will be starting that one soon, I'm sure. What is that? So my next little WIP is my car stitching. So when I was stitching the Historical Sampler Company calendar one, I was at my mum and dad's house, and my niece saw it and she came along and was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm cross stitching." And she was like, "For me?" I was like, "No, Freya, I'm not stitching this one for you." And she wanted me to stitch her something. She's Bluey obsessed at the moment, so I found a Bluey chart on Etsy. This is by Ponto Cruto on Etsy. It's a little Bluey, it's the Bluey family, so this is Mum, this is Bluey, there will be Bingo, the Bluey's sister, and then there'll be the dad here. I'm stitching this on a 16 count hand dyed Ada that I did myself, and I started this on the 7th of June 2025. So I finished Bluey the other day. I generally stitch on this when I'm in the car, when I get to work about 20 minutes early. I just sit in the car for a bit and put a few threads in, and when I'm on my lunch breaks at work, again, sometimes I just do a little bit of stitching. So yeah, Freya's quite excited to see this done. She hasn't forgotten that she'd asked for it, though my sister does find the mum a bit creepy because she seems to not have a second arm. And she was like, "You need to put an arm in," so I might need to do something about that, because yeah, she's kind of got an arm missing, but that's okay. I'm sure my niece won't care. So then the last WIP that I am going to show you, I started, I started it on Saturday, just gone. It is Books Are Magic. I started it with Sarah. It's by Counting Puddles. Lots and lots of people have stitched this. It is beautiful. I am stitching it on the 32 count Scotsman even weave by Stitch Me. So it is the called for fabric, but in even weave. That's it's not quite as grey as that. It's more of a bluey green. Nope. No, it's not going to show it correctly. So I decided to start at the bottom. Sarah started in the middle. So I'm going to do the books and then go up into the pretty colours of the flowers and everything that come out from the books. So I've started with the word magic on the very bottom of the book. And yeah, that's that. Again, needle minder is from Charlie Feathers. Sarah asked her to make one for us, and she gave it to me for my birthday for our Books on Magic sale that we're doing. We like to do start-alongs. We don't call them stitch-alongs because we'll start them together, but we don't stitch them at the same time together. So yeah, that is all of my WIPs. So my plans are hopefully to film about once a month. Normally, when I'm not stitching monogamously on one project, I'll stitch on about 6 to 8 different projects within the month. I generally stitch every day, even if it's just for half an hour on some days. Some days I do more. So yeah, I thought if I can film once a month and just do some progress updates on that, and hopefully it will make me work on some of my older WIPs and get them done, and hopefully not start too many more. Yep, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I've got a couple of thank yous. So the first thank you I've got to do is for Sarah for A, getting me into cross stitch, and B, letting me join her on her Flosstube the other day, because I had great fun, hence why I'm now starting my own. The other big thank you is to Jen at Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole. She's been so lovely and sent some really lovely messages, and we've chatted across to each other a fair bit. And she actually sent me this microphone she'd got it spare and was like, here, have it. I was like, oh, thank you so much. So a big thanks to her. And she's got a little shop, Wild Dragon Crafts. Find her on Instagram. She does beautiful, beautiful charts and a lot of fandom stitching of books that I love. Big Fourth Wing fans. The other thank you I've got is Kerry at Colourfully Cross Stitched on Instagram. She sent me some lovely messages and some kind words, so thank you very much for your encouragement on filming as well. So that's it, that's me done. Only 27 minutes, that's great, not long. I hope you enjoyed seeing my WIPs. Find me on Instagram at Ducks and Crosses if you want to see this. I've got some of the posts up on there of like my finishes that I've not actually FFO'd. And then yeah, I'll see you all soon. Happy stitching. Bye.